Well, here we are again at another Thai wedding. Yes, darling. So who we get married today?
Daughter, grandfather.
Daughter, grandfather's daughter. Okay, so what? Mother's side? Mother's side, father's side. Mother's side, mother or father? Father, grandfather.
Grandfather. Mother.
Yeah, okay. So mother's side, grandfather. Okay. Oh, this gets very good. No, father's side. Oh, okay. Very, very confusing. It's my brother here. Yep, we go drink beer. Good. A big traffic jam. Anyway, don't forget. Just one of those sort of things. It's another Thai wedding. This one here is actually in Bangkok City. So getting a bit of a cultural difference between the last wedding we went to, which was out in the backwaters of northern Thailand. Yeah, as usual, of course, we're going to have a lot of Thai music, a lot of loud music. This is giving you an idea just where we are in the suburbs of Thailand. This is only about maybe sort of 5 miles from where we live. And here's the bridegroom coming up to meet us. Handsome young devil. Body carb. Some of the food for today. Oh, it looks good. Some pork and some khanom. Good. And we're the wedding in here. Okay. Yep. So I remember from the last wedding we had these trees. We carried the trees up. So what does this signify for why they carry the banana trees?
That's for long time Thai.
Just Thai tradition.
Yeah, Thai style before too long time.
Okay.
For you good luck when you stay together with and you can strong like this.
Okay. So I gather that there's a bit of a tradition with bringing food to the wedding, which is again something that we saw sort of like in the last wedding thing. There was obviously food laid on and this procession up to the actual place where they're getting married. This one here being a sort of a smaller family tradition, I guess we're getting to see it a bit more close at hand. It sort of sounds like we're being called up to go now. The wedding procession. Yes, so somebody was actually asking on the channel, do I ever find somewhere quiet to do videos? Well, this is Thailand. I don't think Thailand ever gets quiet. Okay, it's a little bit quiet here, but as you can hear, the music, it's always at top volume. And it's just the way things happen in Thailand. And again with the last wedding we went to, this little tradition of the sort of like the gates that they have to pass through, the challenges to be accepted into the family, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to do some real research on this. It's almost like this he has to bribe his way in to see the bride. And more bribes. So this is now part of the process of giving simsod. And here's a lovely bride. I'm guessing they're all the single women. Okay, looks like what they're doing now is they're doing the hand fasting process. I don't know what they actually call that, but you know, tying the knot. Okay, so it's a bit dark, but it's our turn to give the blessing now, so we'll just do that bit. Well, it definitely is a different sort of setting to the last wedding, or the last two weddings we've been to. The one that I didn't video, which was done a couple of years ago up in Sukhothai, that was a big event, like 300 to 400 people. The one we went to recently up in Sukhothai, well actually west of Sukhothai, only maybe 150 people. So it's obviously a smaller event. Maybe the family's not so well to do in this situation here. I really don't want to pry into the whole economics of the whole thing. But the bride and groom, they're making their vows and they're only too happy to be together. It doesn't have to be a big flashy wedding. As long as the family is here to wish them all the best, I'm sure that's really all that counts. But it's nice to be part of these sort of events. Given the sort of the recent events that's been happening in the last few weeks around the Thailand vlogging scene, being able to step away from that for a day and not have to think about it is actually a blessing in disguise. I won't go into the details. I'm sure that everybody's talked enough about that. People have just shown their true colours, and it's quite a shocking experience. When you start to think of the wonderful place that Thailand is, and the things it has to offer to anybody that's choosing this as a retirement destination or even a place to come and holiday. There's certain bad elements in society, and I suppose these bad elements are just a reflection of the whole society makeup. You can't please everybody, and some people just want to sort of make life bad for everybody. As for me, I'm looking forward to the day that we do get married. I still don't know enough about how the whole ceremony goes on, but I think a few more of these weddings that we go to get to see how everybody else does it. I'm sure that I'll get an idea of how it's all going to sort of transpire when we actually do tie the knot. And I think I might have mentioned this before, you know, like the only part of the wedding that we get to experience is this typical type of wedding here, which is a wedding that the family recognises in Thai society with their sort of very conservative laws and the whole gender issue. And I've mentioned this before, you know, like we can't actually legally be married in Thai society unless, of course, there was a decree issued by the King in 2015 about equality across all sectors of society. That was a move in the right direction, which was initiated prior to the whole junta taking over in 2014. That decree was already in motion, so that the junta couldn't actually intervene because it was already been, you know, through that whole hierarchical system. But since that day that they made that decree, the whole sort of gender equality thing and issues have really sort of gone and hit like a brick wall. It's with the way that the junta operates. It's their focus is on economics and Thailand 4.0, whatever that really means, corruption and everything else, and these sort of minor issues of gender and acceptance in society. Well, hopefully, if we get a good election this year and things start to move progressively again, we may see something in the next couple of years, and we can always keep our fingers crossed for that. Anyway, we've got some drinking to do, and we'll then close up this whole affair. Okay, Shania, she tells me that the reception sort of party is actually at grandfather's place, which is where we were. We did the graduation of his granddaughter. So we'll be sort of now moseying on over there to continue the celebrations. So here we are now at the reception. The lovely bride and groom. And of course, the food and entertainment. Maybe sit, darling, here. So it seems like because of the lack of space at the house for where the bride lives, which is, from what I understand, traditionally where the reception would be held, we're now at a school down near the groom's parents' or grandparents' house, and they've hired the school grounds for the day to hold the reception. And this is where we are today. Yes? Yeah. And you remember this girl here? This is the one for the... Yeah. She graduated before. Anyway, so we'll keep you posted. Well, as I said, it's only a small gathering today. So Shania tells me the fact that when we get married, I'm going to have to learn how to sing. Oh my God, I don't think I'd do that.
I think him down. You sure for die? Don't worry. You can die. Go sure.
It is the most mute. The most comical thing you've ever seen. Thai people try to direct a Farang driving the car. This is the funniest
Stop
thing
here.
ever.
Stop.
Stop here.
Yes. Stop.
You're tene.
อยู่ตรงนี้
You're tene.
Oh my God, looks scary.
So you haven't figured out by now, like the party sort of has been finished. So we've done the reception. Now we're just taking some people home, and this is my navigator, and she has no idea how to navigate, especially when I'm driving. I tell you, it is the funniest thing ever.